You're not lazy, you're just overwhelmed, and nobody prepared you for all of that. Like, literally, you're just a girl. Hey there, darling. I'm Alexandria Williams, a licensed professional counselor, and today we will be talking about burnout in the workplace and how to get rid of it. I'll be sharing 4 things with you: why you're so burned out, what's happening in your body, the cycle of burnout, aka why you keep ending up in this place, and what actually helps mitigate burnout in the workplace. Millennials and Gen Zers are exhausted in a way that sleep just cannot fix. Kind of like the painting Blue Monday by Annie Lee. We wake up exhausted. We go to bed exhausted. We go to work exhausted. This burnout is quiet and oftentimes goes undetected because it doesn't look like crying or quitting your job. Or even if you're crying, you ain't quitting your job. This burnout looks like shutting down, numbing, constantly scrolling your phone, ignoring your friends, or hanging out with people too much in order to escape your work assignments. It might look like avoiding emails, procrastinating on work projects. And you might say to yourself, why can't I get this done? Why is my room so messy? Why is my calendar so unorganized? Why can't I respond to this email? Why don't I want to be alone with myself? Why can't I meet my own expectations? Why can't I meet anyone else's expectations? Why is my boss so disappointed in me? Why do I feel like a failure? And the truth is, you are burned out. You don't have the capacity for all that life has thrown onto your plate. This isn't laziness, this is nervous system dysregulation. You're burned out because your nervous system is dysregulated. You're not tired, your nervous system is. Why are our generations burned out? We are burned out because we live in a culture that thrives and is built on burnout and overfunctioning. Our workplaces are unstable due to constant layoffs, changes in work environment, changes in workflows and work structure. It can be very difficult to adjust to those changes. We are expected to show up at work and be a rock star, and then show up at home and work there too. And there doesn't seem like there's enough time in the day, and then you look up and you haven't taken care of yourself just one bit. We weren't taught how. We are functioning in societies where the structure is constantly changing. Many of us are feeling nervous and overwhelmed because we're not sure what's to come. Or then you have digital overload. We're constantly on our phones trying to escape reality a little bit because what's happening on TikTok and Instagram is just a lot better than what's going on the news. Many of us are overachievers. Our parents, our teachers, our counselors, our coaches taught us to achieve, and they did not teach us how to rest. Because you do not know how to rest, you are having a hard time functioning. When your nervous system is overwhelmed, you can get stuck in fight, flight, freeze, or fawn, which is people pleasing. Fight at work looks like that coworker who is just a little bit ragey, a little bit irritated, a little bit frustrated. You know, you might want to be like, "Rah," after they say something because they just seem a little like, "Rah," you know? They are stuck in fight mode. Their nervous system says, I'm burned out, this is overwhelming, and now I am upset. Okay? Watch out. Flight looks like avoiding tasks, dreading meetings, wanting to escape, feeling the urge to disappear. Freeze. Freeze is one that happens to a lot of us. It looks like doom scrolling. It looks like procrastination, zoning out, detachment, wanting to get up and do the thing. Your brain saying, yes, get up, dude. What are you doing? We need to start right now. And your body being like, yeah, absolutely not. There's no way we're about to get up and do any of that right now. Why? Because it's tired. Your nervous system is tired. You are tired. And therefore, you don't have the capacity. And so your body says, let's just go in low power mode. Let's just freeze for a little bit. Let's just sit here and stay cozy. And then there's fawn. Fawn is people pleasing. And that looks like becoming everybody's go-to person at work because you're such a hard worker. That looks like saying yes when you probably should have assessed your capacity before doing so. It looks like people pleasing your boss. It looks like trying to make sure everybody on the team, everybody in the workplace is happy, even if it means that you're not. Fawn looks like smiling too much and raising your voice in octaves so that you don't seem aggressive. Either way, all of these are responses to burnout. These are signals that your body is no longer able to handle everything that is on this so heavy plate. 3, the cycle of burnout. Burnout starts when your nervous system is dysregulated. And so it looks like, oh, I've got the job, or oh, I've been put on this workplace project, or oh, my boss is happy with me. Let me get this done, and let me get that done, and let me get this done. And you're knocking it out of the park. You're doing the thing, okay? And what happens? You've got so many things on this plate that guess who goes ignored? You. Your body starts sending signals like doom scrolling, or not being able to get up, or people pleasing, or anxiety attacks at work. And what do? We ignore those signals. We push through. We hustle. We keep going. And then guess what? You stopped feeling, and now you cannot function. That is the cycle of burnout. We pile all this on our plate, and then we're getting it done, and so we're not paying attention to ourselves. Therefore, we don't notice the signals that our nervous system are sending to us, and guess what? We stop functioning. And then we go into panic and confusion. Number 5, what actually helps to mitigate burnout in the workplace? And let me tell you, it's not being more disciplined. It is not forcing yourself to be more productive at work. It's not dotting your I's and crossing your T's and planning every detail out to the T. No, none of that. What helps mitigate burnout in the workplace is nervous system regulation. Nervous system regulation looks like taking a 30-second break at work, right? Maybe you don't have time to take a luxurious 30-minute or hour-long break because you've got a crazy project you got to pump out and it's got to be done right now. Totally fine. But you have 30 seconds. You know how I know? Because you take 30 seconds to watch them TikToks. Everybody has 30 seconds to close your eyes, take a deep breath, and ask yourself, what do you need? Sometimes I tell my clients, okay, because it can be very hard to ask yourself what you need and to actually answer it. So what I would do is sometimes I'll have my clients ask themselves, if my best friend or my sister or my partner or my child were feeling like this, what would I do for them? Would I get them a cup of tea? Would I get them a balloon? Would I get them some flowers? Would I tell them to go lay down for a second? Do those things for yourself. It looks like planning based on your capacity. So what we talked about earlier, asking yourself, can I actually handle this? Before I say yes, can I actually handle this? If I'm going to say yes, even though I can't handle it, what tools am I going to access in order to help increase my capacity? What teammate am I going to ask to help me? You don't have to take all of your burdens on and just do everything alone. Nervous system regulation looks like stretching. It looks like asking yourself, this is my favorite question. It looks like asking yourself, What am I feeling and why? Too many of us are just going through life and we don't know what we feel, or we might know what we feel, but we don't know what triggered it. We're just continuing to function until we cannot anymore. You would function at a higher capacity and at a much greater speed if you stopped just for a second, because I know none of us have time, but if you stopped just for a second to ask yourself, what am I feeling? What in my environment is triggering this feeling? And guess what? You can make necessary changes just based on asking yourself, what am I feeling and what's triggering that feeling? When you have that information, you have the capacity to adjust. But when you don't know what you're feeling and you don't know why, when you don't have that data, guess what? You're just lost. You're confused. You're burned out. And then one of my personal favorites is meditation. Meditation is one of my favorite ways to regulate your nervous system because it don't take much. All you have to do is sit there and listen to your mind. Just sit there and let your mind roam. You can do it in a dark place, my personal fave. You can do it laying down, you can do it sitting, you can do it standing, you can do it at your desk, you can do it in the bathroom, you can do it in the car, you can do it while you're walking the dog, you can do it wherever. It doesn't matter and it doesn't take much. All you have to do is focus on your breath and let your mind do the rest. What I'm trying to say here is you must address your nervous system's needs before you can force your body and your mind to function. If you want to show up differently at work, you first have to feel in order to function. If you want to elevate in your career, if you want to increase your capacity, if you want to be a bulldog at work, you have to regulate your nervous system in order to increase your capacity for all of the work that's going to be piling on as you elevate and move up in your career. You cannot, well, you can do this. You can elevate in your career without regulating your nervous system, but it's not sustainable. If you're ready to get started regulating your nervous system, download my free grounded meditation located on my website, theriot.co. If you're looking for deeper support, my guided meditation audio bundle has tools for panic, shame, anxiety, and vagus nerve regulation. It's also located on my store at theriot.co.